Whoa. Where am I? Why is it so dark?
Turtle Guy looked around in this confined space of nothingness. In every direction, there was no light, no hope, no chance of salvation, just pure darkness. He felt around, scrambling through the air, waving it through nothing as if he floated in the void.
Oh, wait, hold on. This isn't fun. What's going on? Where am I?
He reached for something to save him, something to feel, but nothing came.
Help me! I'm too handsome to die without a memorial statue. Preferably made of gold, and quite large.
Suddenly, a dim, faint glow flickered behind the helpless guardian. Turtle Guy turned his head and shielded his eyes from the angelic light before him.
What the hell?
Be not afraid.
Who are you?
I am the one thing that poisons your memory. I am the one thing you can never change. I am your only regret.
The Fire Team of Fools presents Turtle Guy Gets Lost in Space, Episode 2. Turtle Guy was about to question the aura of almost lavender light before he suddenly fell to the ground with a considerable thump.
Ah!
He grabbed the back of his helmet in a reflex and scratched it in a nurturing fashion before he sat up and looked around his considerably brighter surroundings. There was something new, however, a sensation that was uncomfortable yet familiar. Heat. Turtle Guy stood up and removed his helmet, letting his pale features bask in the sunlight and allowing his dimly glowing hair to flutter in the breeze. The sun glinted downwards toward him, telling him that everything was fine. He was at peace. The waves didn't even seem terrifying anymore as they lapped up calmly onto the beach, moving around his feet in a thoughtful gesture, just to make sure they didn't get his toes wet.
Huh. A beach. My beach.
Turtle Guy glanced around and took in the sights of the area at which he was first resurrected. Right beside water. Ironically, for someone named Turtle Guy, it seemed his first death was from drowning. But oh well, when would he ever have to swim again? Hey, fancy a swim, buddy? Turtle Guy followed the sound of his friend's voice out into the ocean, where Cyber gracefully emerged from the waves, mounted atop a giant fallen spider tank, glimmering in the sunlight. It was using all 6 of its legs to doggy paddle, and it made a whirring sound as if it was pleased to be in the water.
Doug!
And me, man. Without a second thought, Turtle Guy skipped merrily along the surface of the water to pet the spider tank he murdered during his first days as a guardian.
I thought I killed you.
You did. But you know, I'm the nerdy guy who likes making pointless stuff instead of being a cool, charming guy like you, so I spent months rebuilding him for you, and now he wants me to tell you that he forgives you, holds no ill will, and wants to be your best friend until the end of time.
Awesome! I knew he wouldn't hate me.
And I always knew I was wrong about the fact that a spider tank would not have emotions unless it was modified with experimental artificial intelligence technology. I was so wrong about it, in fact. You know what? I'm wrong about a lot of things. I'm not the smart one, Turtle Guy. You are.
And that's why you should be fire team leader.
Turtle Guy looked across the ocean to see a cleaning appliance floating in the distance, projecting the guardian Hoover's voice. It was a literal pink, shiny Hoover that seemed to not need a power source. Or maybe it was powered by friendship.
Wow, you guys are the best. Thanks for finally noticing my brilliance. This is all too good to be...
Turtle Guy looked behind Doug and Cyber to see that the ocean ended and was now replaced with the dusty Martian atmosphere. It slowly began to snow behind the joyous Cyber, who didn't seem to notice. But Turtle Guy, he did notice the angelic entity glowing on the expanding Martian landscape.
Wait, this isn't real? You didn't find me? You didn't save me?
What are you talking about? We're all here. Everyone is here. Even Rocket Man. Turtle Guy turned to follow Cyber's extended hand to see a stick figure made out of fireworks.
Hi, I'm a man made out of rockets. Because that's what you imagine me as for some reason. But you know I'm not literally a rocket man, right?
No, this isn't right. What's going on?
You are not lost in space, Turtle Guy. You are lost in your mind. Your regret is your true prison.
No, I'm dreaming. This is a dream. I've got to wake up.
Why not stay here some more and walk on water, like the god of a man you are?
No, everyone go. Leave me alone. Let me wake up.
If you insist. And with that, Cyber clicked his heel against the side of Doug, and it leapt up out of the water and into the sky. Turtle Guy saw a trail of glowing sparkles fall behind them as they dissipated into the sky. Hoover gargled and sank to the ocean floor. Turtle Guy stepped backwards away from the lavender light, but this time his foot did not find solid water. He fell through and plunged into the cruel, suffocating embrace of the ocean. His screams were muffled as he fell deeper and deeper and deeper. Light faded away. The lavender entity was nowhere to be seen. Turtle Guy was once again alone. He floated again throughout the darkness for what felt like hours until he heard a familiar jingle. It was a badly set up piano sound effect set up on a speaker on a loop that was supposed to attract patrons, but it didn't really work as well as he had hoped. Turtle Guy turned to see, floating in the void, his old ice cream shop, fashioned out of an even older ship that belonged to an old friend of his.
What's that doing here?
It's here because we're in your mind, man. Fancy an ice cream? I hear that your Turtle Guy mint flavor was the best before the food industry war you caused. Turtle Guy turned to see Cyber holding a vanilla ice cream on a bench facing towards the ice cream shop, with a shiny pink Hoover placed on the bench beside him. It was spluttering out water.
What is happening? I never get nightmares. All my dreams are perfectly pristine.
Nightmares? You mean the ghosts on the moon? Because the moon is definitely haunted, and I am not a representation of how you want Cyber to be? Because ghosts are definitely real?
Please. Let me go. Leave me alone.
Turtle Guy sprinted past the Guardian and the cleaning appliance, and dove into the landing bay of the ship. He scrambled around, ignoring all of the ice that had begun to form, following him, trying to actively freeze him in place, like the ice powers had done once before. He skidded into the pilot bay and slammed the door behind him, panting in exhaustion. He placed his back to the door and slowly eased himself to the ground as he could feel the frigid frost of the ice begin to dissipate.
How does one wake up? Can I fly out? Do I tap my legs together? No. Is it a moral question? Does it require physical activity?
He then tried to stand up and move towards the pilot seat when he noticed that nothing was as it should be. He didn't run into the pilot chamber. He was now back in his escape pod. Only now there were no stars outside to keep him company in the void. There was nothing.
What is going on? I don't ever remember eating cheese. It always gives me weird dreams.
You are trapped in your own mind, Turtle Guy.
Turtle Guy spun to look outside the window, where the darkness erupted in lavender flame. Turtle Guy scrambled back into the furthest corner of the escape pod, shielding his eyes from the visceral manifestation of regret before him.
What are you? Are you real? Can I touch you?
I have always been in the dark recesses of your mind since that fateful day. But now, I am free to return to the forefront of your mind. Within this escape pod, you have no hope, only sorrow. And I am the deepest cause of your own torment. I am your sorrow, and I will stay with you until you right this wrong. Or die!
Turtle Guy screamed as the lavender creeped through the glass, shattering and burning away the materials of the escape pod as it reached towards him. Beep, 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 beep.
Please, no!
Turtle Guy awoke with a sweat, jolting upwards and slamming his head on a jutting out piece of metal that he tore from the wall in a prior attempt to build a communications device. He looked around frantically, but outside the window there was only space. Cold, empty space. No strange occult energy manifestations as far as he could see.
Oh, man, I hate nightmares. I'll take Ghost on the moon before them any day. Ghost? How does one stop dreaming? How does one wake up? How does one become conscious?
Beep, beep, beep. Turtle Guy turned to comprehend that the sound he had heard at the end of his nightmare was actually originating from the escape pod's minimal functioning computer systems.
Oh God, what now? Am I losing oxygen? Is it an alarm clock? Is someone trying to call me?
Turtle Guy lunged for the computer console to see what the matter was. Sadly, he had ripped away basically all of the dials and exterior displays, so all he could see was a dangling red light, whose beeping was growing more frequent every second.
That's a good sign, right? Nothing bad's gonna happen today.
The entire escape pod groaned and shook violently for a second, throwing Turtle Guy to the floor. Dazed, he glanced up through the window, and he was finally able to guess what the signal beeping was probably indicating. It was the proximity alarm. His escape pod had been caught by the large robotic docking arm of an even larger ship. A ship covered in silently floating fabrics and war paint, displaying many symbols. But one stood out in particular. A squid digging its own grave.
Oh, poop.
Thank you for listening to Turtle Guy Gets Lost in Space, Episode 2. This episode was written and directed by Cyber Prime. Turtle Guy played Turtle Guy. The Dream Cyber was voiced by Cyber. The narrator was also voiced by Cyber. Dream Hoover was played by Hoover. The angelic voice was also played by Cyber Prime. And the man made out of rockets was played by Toad Smoothie. Thank you for listening.